In the early 17th century, the Dutch Republic was the richest nation on earth. It was the golden age of Dutch trade, art, and scientific advancement. But this period of immense wealth also gave birth to a bizarre economic phenomenon. That event is known as Tulip Mania, often cited as the first speculative bubble. Today, we are going to look at the history of how a simple flower captivated an entire nation. To understand the bubble, we must look at the introduction of tulips to Western Europe. Originating in Central Asia, tulips were imported to Holland from the Ottoman Empire. Their vibrant colors and exotic appearance made them an instant status symbol for the wealthy. A unique virus, known as the tulip-breaking virus, caused some petals to have beautiful, flame-like patterns. These variegated tulips were incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. As demand grew, the prices of rare tulip bulbs began to rise steadily. Soon, professional growers and wealthy merchants were not the only ones buying. Ordinary citizens, including weavers, tailors, and cobblers, entered the market hoping to get rich. The trading was centered in local taverns, where buyers gathered to negotiate deals. Because bulbs could only be planted in the summer, trade occurred during the winter using paper contracts. This created a futures market where people bought and sold the rights to future bulbs. Buyers purchased contracts using credit, promises of goods, or land deeds. By late 1636, the speculation had reached a fever pitch. The price of a single bulb of the rare Semper Augustus reached astronomical heights. It was valued at 10,000 guilders, enough to purchase a grand house on an Amsterdam canal. For comparison, the annual income of a skilled craftsman was only about 150 guilders. People were trading entire estates, livestock, and tons of wheat for a single bulb. The market had completely decoupled from the physical value of the flower. In February 1637, the bubble suddenly and violently burst. At an auction in Haarlem, a buyer refused to pay the high price for a bulb. Panic spread rapidly through the tavern trading rooms as other buyers backed out. Within days, the demand for tulips vanished completely. Sellers found themselves holding contracts for bulbs that were now virtually worthless. Those who had borrowed heavily to buy tulips were left with massive debts they could not pay. The Dutch courts refused to enforce the tulip contracts, classifying them as gambling debts. Popular history suggests that tulip mania caused a devastating economic collapse in Holland. But modern historians have revealed a different reality. The bubble was actually much smaller and confined to a select group of wealthy speculators. The Dutch economy did not collapse, and the shipping industry continued to thrive. Most participants in the market were merchants who could afford the losses. While some individuals were ruined, the broader society remained stable. Still, tulip mania remains the ultimate warning sign of market hysteria. It shows how human psychology can drive asset prices to irrational heights. The pattern of tulip mania has repeated throughout history in many forms. From the South Sea bubble to the dot-com crash, the dynamics remain identical. When speculative fervor takes over, value is replaced by pure greed. Investors buy assets solely because they expect someone else to pay more. This is known as the greater fool theory of investing. Eventually, the pool of greater fools runs out and the market collapses. In the modern era, new asset classes often mirror the tulip bubble. Recognizing these psychological cycles is key to avoiding financial ruin. Always focus on the intrinsic cash flow value of your investments. Do not let FOMO drive your long-term capital allocation decisions. The history of tulips is a timeless lesson in market behavior. Keep your portfolio grounded in real-world productivity.